Good afternoon, everyone. This is John Schiltz, the owner-chef of the Lake Elmo Inn. Today I'm going to try to save you some money. And one of the misnomers out there is that you have to go out and buy steaks and you pay this exorbitant amount of money for a filet mignon or New York or a ribeye from a store. They're doing all the work and they should get paid more for that, and that's okay. But I'm here to tell you that you can possibly do this for yourself at home. In the stores, the larger stores, they're going to have whole tenderloins. One of the things about tenderloin is that there's different kinds. There's the cow tender, there's the steer tender, and then there's a higher bred one, such as we use here, the 1881 Hereford beef. And that's what I have here. This is a whole tenderloin. You get 2 out of these out of each steer. It's not coming from a cow, it's coming from a steer. Black Angus is also another wonderful, certified Black Angus is a wonderful breed of animal that has great flavor, great marbling, a great steak. And same with the 1881 Hereford. 1881 Hereford is the top 3% of the whole Hereford line. And it is a phenomenal piece of beef. It's the way beef used to taste. The genetics of this animal is solid and been there for a long time, and it hasn't been watered down. So with that, you buy yourself a tenderloin at the store. I'm sorry, but you can't buy these in a store. There's only a couple of us in the whole Twin City market that actually use this particular brand of beef. There's only 2 of us, and I'm one of them, and I'm grateful. So the tenderloin comes whole, and this is what's called a pismal. A pismal has the fat cap off, and it has the side strap on, which is right there. So you take it out of the bag, and you pull it off, discard the bag, and then you have this side strap that I talk about. This side strap costs you just as much as this part of the tenderloin. And a lot of people don't understand that. There is a lot of trim and a lot of waste that comes off of a tenderloin, but this comes off very easily. So with this, you have, again, the same amount of money as you have here, but it's got a lot of this sinew in it, and a lot of this here. This is something you can't chew. So when you get a steak and you have a hard time chewing, it's probably because it has that silver skin in it. So what I try to do is I try to take off, and especially on a tenderloin, the fat on a tenderloin is not the tastiest fat out there. So, and this is the way I trim them. So this silver skin runs deep up into the head of it, and I just try to pull back the meat off of it, and then I come back. And so there it is. This little piece right here, a lot of restaurants leave this on. I'm not one of them. So we take this here piece off and we lay that up here. We'll come back to that meat because we don't throw that away. So then you take and you try to take this meat, this silver skin off. You take it and you bring your knife and then you just run it through. And this is what you're shooting for. You're trying to get it just like this. That's perfect. This is not. This is wasted money. So I'm going to try to do it again. Try to get that silver skin off without taking too much of my meat off of the tender. Again, this is stuff that you just cannot chew, and it makes for a tough steak. So even if you don't have the highest quality beef out there, a tenderloin is still the best of all the steaks. I mean, you got your ribeye, you've got your strip loin, you've got top sirloin, you have all these different cuts of meat, and tenderloin is still the Cadillac, Mercedes, whatever you want to call it, of all the red meat. So you can see a little bit left, and I will get that out of there because, again, I don't want my customers to have to chew on anything that's like rubber. There we go. And then you go turn it over, and there's another one right on the back. After cleaning thousands of these tenderloins, you kind of know where all those parts are. So with that, this I can't do much with. It can be rendered down and browned off and used into a stock pot. You will get some flavor from that. So then you take and you're going to start cutting your steaks. You take and you cut off your tip so that you don't have that on one side and a beautiful flat piece on the other. And again, I use that. And then you're just going to take and cut. You're going to cut your steak. And I cut 8 ounces and I cut 6 ounces. 8-ounce steak, right on the money. So with that, I've been cutting steaks already, so I get ready for today and tomorrow, and then I have all my 8 ounces and all my 6 ounces. And for you at home, you're just going to cut the size that you want. For me, having an 8 ounce is what I sell, so that's what I need to cut. For at home, you're going to cut the size that works best for you and what works best for this tenderloin. So you're going to cut as many steaks as you want, and then you're going to get down to the end. You know, with this end, you can take and you can do little cubes like this on that tail, and you got still some of that silver skin, and then you can put them on kebabs. I do a lot of tenders at a time. At home, I wouldn't think you would do more than one, but a little stir fry, anything. Saute that off with with some mushrooms and onions. It's wonderful. Now I said I'd come back to this. This here is, again, the fat of a tenderloin is not very good. So you have all this silver skin, and it's very thick. So I take and I scrape the meat off of it, and I pull this, I just basically pull this out. Try to get all that silver skin out. All right, so that's all gone. So now this is what I've got left. Well, what you can do with this is, again, you can brown this off and put it in a stew. You can make chili out of this. You can grind it and make hamburger out of this. Most people don't have grinders at home. So it's whatever you want to do with it. That's what you do with this. The tips, you have sauteed tenderloin tips, you have beef kebabs, you have brochettes, and then here again you have, this is that one little side strap that I took off the head of the tenderloin, and I'm just again pulling that fat away because again the suet that goes around it to protect the tenderloin, because this is a muscle and that suet is around there and it protects it, it's not the tastiest. The birds love it, but humans don't, not too much. So then you have this nice piece of meat here, again, great for stews, great for stir fries, great for kebabs, things of that nature. So with that, that's the inside scoop for today about tenderloins. And maybe you can save some money, because I know if you get a tenderloin, a high quality tenderloin steak in the stores, you're going to pay anywhere from $25 to $40 a pound for it. I know that's a wide range, but there's different grades and dry ages, wet ages, that type of thing. If you're going to do New Yorks are the same thing. You buy the whole strip loin and you can cut your own steaks. It's just having confidence to do it and to know how to do it and where to cut. Because once you start cutting into this, you're cutting into lots of money. That's it for today. Thank you.